Hi and welcome to Huntington School. My name is Jim Tomlinson and I worked 10 years ago to create the long-term stays here with the head teacher at Huntington School. I was the acting head at a school just up the road, and we wanted to get as many German students to come into our sixth form as possible to give it a little bit of German magic, which is exactly what they have done over the last 10 years. Today, Mandy, the Pastoral coordinator, is going to take you around the school, and we'll meet some other people as well, and they'll give you some more information. So please sit back, enjoy, and I hope that you really do feel as if you get a feel of Huntington School by the end of the film.
Hello and welcome to Huntington Sixth Form. My name's Chris Hardwell and I'm Director of Sixth Form here at Huntington School. We have a long history of welcoming students from Germany, and we have partnerships with over 30 schools. And Huntington Sixth Form is incredibly proud and honoured that we have this long tradition of working with German students. Now, German students come to here at Huntington and they can choose from a huge variety of subjects. We have over 30 different subjects here. Students in the UK take A-levels and they last for 2 years, and students that come to us can take what we call AS levels, and those are half an A-level, and German students do exams in a huge range of subjects after the first year. Now, what do we as a school get from having German students come to us? Well, it adds to the culture at Huntington Sixth Form. We have a very internationally focused culture. Our students get on fantastically well with German students, make long-term, lifelong friendships, and we get so much from having that focus globally and in terms of the European continent, and we love having students from Germany with us. And our students often say that at the end of the 2 years it's one of their favourite bits of having friends, which they get to obviously go back to Germany and visit, and it's one of the best things that we get as a sixth form. Now, what do German students get from coming over here? Well, first things, you get to see the wonderful historic city of York. You get to see all the cultural and historic elements of this wonderful city and this wonderful part of England. But when you come to Huntington Sixth Form, you will realise that you get a fantastic education. We are one of the leading state schools in the country and one of the top state schools in the local region of Yorkshire. And students here get a top rated education. A huge range of subjects, high quality teaching. We have small classes. The average class size here at Huntington Sixth Form is 13, which is a fantastic number in this country. And hopefully when you come to choose different subjects, German students will benefit from having such a small teacher to student ratio. Students here also benefit from a variety of experiences. They get to choose non-academic subjects. We get to do debating and Amnesty International. Students get to do sports, a whole host of things, not just the academic subjects. When you do come here at Huntington Sixth Form, you'll be looked after a huge and fantastically hard-working team. Not just myself as head of Sixth Form, you'll have a head of year, and you'll also have a form tutor who will look after you every morning and make sure that you have a top-rated support. Of course, you'll get to see Mandy and work with her regularly, and they team up well with the form tutor and make sure that you get regular reports that are sent home about how well you're doing, because I'm sure you will do extremely well when you come to us. Now, I can't always promise great weather here in York, but it does. The sun does come out every now and again, and hopefully you can get out on site. We have a fantastic building. It's very new. We have lots of computers, and I'm sure you'll get to see that elsewhere on the video about the facilities and the room that you'll get to study, because A-levels are not just about having taught lessons. You will have lessons where you have to go and do private study and work set to you by the teachers, which you will then bring to your next lesson, and that will obviously be tested on at the end of the year. So all in all, I hope that you choose to come to Huntington Sixth Form, which I'm sure you will do, and I know that you will have a top rated experience and you'll do very well. And I'd love to see you in September.
Hi, my name's Mandy Tomlinson, and it's my job to look after the students as soon as they arrive in York. We're situated here on the mezzanine, and this is a working area for sixth form students. Now, you will have a lot of work to do when you arrive, so it's really important you use this space. You can access it during any of your free periods, before school, lunchtimes and after school. Now, Mr. Hardwell has already spoken to you about some of the requirements in the sixth form, and after half a term you will get a report from school. The first report that you receive will contain effort grades only. There won't be any attainment grades at that point because you really need to settle into school first. Also, we think that effort is the key criteria for you to make progress. At the same time as you receive your report from school, I will be making a visit to your host family, and I will talk to your host families about how they feel that you've settled in. I will also have a one-to-one meeting with yourself so you can tell me how you feel about all aspects of the stay, how school is going, how everything's going with your host family. Once I've had those meetings, I will add on my own pastoral comments to your report. So your parents and your schools back in Germany will be able to see how you're getting on with all your academic studies and how you are settling socially and with your families. I'm aware that sometimes in German schools, students will stay in a classroom and the teachers rotate around to the students. Here in the UK and at Huntington, it's the exact opposite. The student moves around the school from lesson to lesson. On entering the classroom, you will know immediately which subject you'll be studying through the keywords and the visuals that are decorating the room. If you haven't worked it out already, we're in English. Once you start at Huntington School, every Monday is a Mandy Monday because we get together every Monday lunchtime and meet in this classroom where I'm sitting now. The reason we get together each Monday is so that we can have a chat. I can check that you're still happy and safe and that you're really enjoying all aspects of your stay. For the first 6 weeks of your stay, it's compulsory for all of you to attend these sessions. But after 6 weeks, you can decide whether you'd like to come and see me or not. Very often with students, after the first 6 weeks, I might never see them again until Christmas or when they decide to return home. The reason being they're comfortable with all the aspects, they've set up a social life, made lots of English friends and German friends, and they just do not feel the need or require any support from myself. Some students don't require any support, but they still like to just come and check in, and we just have one lunchtime a week where we can have a bit of a chat and talk about what everybody's been up to. Some students do need support, and that's absolutely fine. That is my job to try and help you sort things out, be it academically, socially, or with your host family. Well, the sixth form common room is usually at break time and lunchtime absolutely buzzing, packed with students, all relaxing, loud music and having a good time. However, once break times and lunch times are over, this becomes a work environment for students. Mr. Hardwell's office is just off the common room, so if it all gets a bit too silly, Mr. Hardwell will be there. Not a musician, as you can probably tell, but here we are in our music classroom, and there are several others like this, as well as smaller one-to-one teaching areas and practice rooms. We've had lots of musicians, German musicians, that come to school, and some good opportunities in school. We have the choir, which several students joined this year. We have opportunities to get involved with the band for our production of the pantomime at Christmas time. We've even had some people who wanted to dance. We also have a jamnesty each year, which is where students can showcase their musical talents, either as a band, individual performers, singers, anything they want. Outside of school, there are some other fantastic opportunities available in the city. We've had lots of students that have joined local orchestras, and even one student that joined the very prestigious Guildhall Orchestra. We're now on the stairs coming down from the music department, and what I'd like to talk to you about now is work opportunities. Now, some of you might say, oh no, Mandy, I don't intend working while I'm across in England, and that's absolutely fine. To be honest, you might have so much study to do that you've no time to work, but several of our students in the past have worked. Some of them have got jobs in local restaurants, some of them have had jobs at local attractions, some of them have worked in cafes, so lots of different types of employment, and it's absolutely up to you. If you do decide you want to try the experience of working for somebody where you'll make loads of different types of friends, so it'll take you into a whole other social life, if that's what you want to experience, I can help with that. You simply make yourself an appointment at the local job centre, you'll be issued a national insurance number, and you're good to go. We now find ourselves across the road from school at our lovely AstroTurf facility, which is used for school lessons as well as outside school activities. If you're a sporty person, in terms of school, the access to sports that you'll have is mainly through our PDP programme, where students come down on a Wednesday afternoon and just play lots of different games and activities for recreational purposes. If you're a little bit more competitive, there are loads of opportunities outside of school. We've had several past students that have joined local football teams, hockey teams, dance classes, horse riding clubs. So there's a range of activities for all of your interests. We've had some students that have joined football clubs that are within the community where they live, and that is fantastic. It really opens up their social life and makes them feel connected to the community. We've had a student that stayed for 2 years, and he played at this hockey club, York City Hockey Club, and had a fabulous time making lots of new friends in addition to the German and English students at school. If you are non-sporty, there are still lots of clubs you can join. We've had a couple of students that have been involved in local chess clubs and have travelled to fixtures for chess all around our region. So there are opportunities. You can just look for them, or I can help you find them. Here we are in the Learning Resource Centre, or library if you prefer. There are lots of different types of resources here to support all our students as well as those in the sixth form. What I'd like to talk to you about is safeguarding. Here in the UK, safeguarding is taken extremely seriously, and particularly in schools. You will notice that when you arrive at school, you can only access school through the main entrance and reception. You must also have a badge and a lanyard if you are in sixth form. All staff and sixth formers wear these for identification purposes. So you must not forget your lanyard. In school as well, you will be given information to keep you safe online, information regarding bullying, any aspect of safeguarding that's also in our pack for you to look through. In terms of safeguarding with host families, we make sure that all our families, everyone who lives in the family that are over 18, has a DBS check. This shows that they don't have a criminal record. An extra layer of safeguarding is that if you arrive as a 15-year-old, I have to, by law, inform our local authority children's social care department, and they will organise with your host family to come and make a visit and to meet you. They do that just to check they are happy with the family and the environment in which I've placed you. So again, it's all about keeping you extra safe. In addition to that, I will have already made a visit to the host family before you arrive, just to check that I'm happy with the room that you're staying in, the location of the house, etc, etc. Then after you've been here for half a term, I visit the family and I have a meeting with you to double check. Here we are in the maths department. All our classrooms have smart boards, and you'll find that our teachers are highly skilled in ICT. What you might also find that's different to back in Germany is the range of teaching pedagogy adopted by the teachers. It will not simply be the teachers standing at the front of the classroom. There'll be lots of individual work, peer work and small group work to accompany that, which again might be different to your experience in Germany. What I'd like to talk to you about now are the financial aspects of your stay. So first of all, banking. If you are a year student, you might want to open an English bank account. I produce the letters for that, and I meet you at the beginning of your stay and I take you to the bank that we usually use in town, which is so accommodating and give us a specific slot to take our students and a discrete time when they will process your applications. It's not compulsory to open a bank account, so if you prefer not to and manage your finances in a different way, that's absolutely fine as well. You will simply need to let me know. In terms of payment for your year, all the account details for payments are in your information pack. Now you can decide how you want to pay according to your own personal situation. This year, we have had many students, I'd probably say about half, that have paid for the full term, whether that is a September to Christmas, a September to Easter, a January start, or the full year. It's entirely up to you. For those that have had to return early due to the coronavirus, we have simply then reimbursed the outstanding monies that they paid. Other people have decided to pay on a termly facility or month to month. If you want to pay monthly, absolutely fine. And the way it works initially, on the 28th of August, you will pay for September plus a 1 month cancellation fee. The reason we ask you to pay for a 1 month cancellation fee is because if you have to return home to Germany suddenly, you might be homesick or have a medical condition that needs treating, then we actually think it's fair to your host family to give them that cancellation fee, as they've committed to looking after you for that whole period. So we think if they get an extra month, that will give them time to organise an alternative mode of finance. If you don't return home to Germany and you stay for your full course, we use the cancellation fee to pay for June, and we will require no payment from yourself. If you are going to pay monthly, your payment needs to be in the account by the 28th of each month, because that's the date then I will transfer money to our host families. If you are paying tuition fees, that can go into the same account, and then I will transfer that into a different account at school. If you have any questions regarding the finances, please don't hesitate to get in touch, because it can be a little bit complicated. Now at the part of the induction where you should be meeting your host family. I'm so sad that you can't be doing that. It's a really exciting part of the day. But you have been introduced to your family via email, so hopefully you've been Skyping or FaceTiming and getting to know each other a little bit, as well as maybe being able to see around your home where you're going to be living, certainly your bedroom. So that might be working out pretty well. Now, during the course of the online induction, we've talked about lots of different elements to your stay, but I would suggest that your relationship with your host family is a really important and key part to the success of your stay. What can I say about your families? We have lots and lots of different types of families that host for us. We've got some that have large houses, some that have small houses. You may get a big bedroom or a small bedroom. You may be walking distance to school. You may be a bus journey away. There may be other students in your own. There might be none. You might be on your own. You might have a host family that has a family. It could be a single host. Everyone is different. So not everybody is going to have exactly the same experience. What I can tell you is that I spend an awful long time looking at your applications and matching students to hosts. So I really do try my best to get a good fit from the start. What you can expect of your host is all the requirements that we put in our information pack. You will have breakfast, packed lunch, evening meal, probably snacks on the weekend. They will do your laundry, change your bedding, etc, etc. All the hosts are different, so some of them like the students to really get involved, and that might mean doing some chores. Others to prepare to do everything for the student. Their idea is that you are here to work and your studies are really, really important, so they really want to look after you. Until you're with your host family, you won't really know how it's going to be. But I would suggest the focus is upon the student to adapt to the host family. You are coming into their home, so you need to be prepared to fit around their rules. It might be that you go to bed earlier than normal and you're a little bit quieter because the host family have to go to bed early because they are up early the next morning for work. It might be that you have a different meal time to what you're used to in Germany. But the point to all of this is it's great. It's something different and you are coming here for a different experience completely. So don't be worried if things aren't as they are at home. They never can be, they never could be. Now we have lots of really, really successful stays, and we have many host families that are in touch with their past students, and they very often will come back and stay together. They have great relationships. Occasionally things don't go to plan, and that is just real life. As much as I try, we don't know each other's personalities until you arrive. So I think I've got the best fit, but sometimes it can go wrong. That's one of the reasons we have our weekly drop-in session, the Mandy Mondays. So if you have a problem, you can talk to me about it. I won't always, however, get involved. I will encourage you sometimes to talk to your host family first. Your relationship with them is crucial. I don't live there, so I think it's really important you can talk to them if you feel able to. If something is a persistent problem or a more serious problem, then obviously I will get involved, and I try to follow the same protocol every time. So what would happen is we would sit down all together, myself, you and your host family, and I am very keen to listen to everybody's point of view fairly. It's not just about the student. Very often the host family will have a different perspective on things. So we listen, we try to come up with strategies to solve the problem, perhaps give it a month to see if that will work. If it does, fantastic, we carry on. If it doesn't, then occasionally I will need to move a student. This year I haven't had to move one single student. In previous years, yes, I have. So we never know. In terms of expectations, I think, as I said, you need to adapt. You need to be aware that you are moving into somebody else's home. It can't ever be like home. It will not be a replication of what you have in Germany. So you need to adapt to your host family. They are not, after all, going to stay with you in Germany. You are moving into their house. So be respectful, be adaptable, and don't expect everything to be perfect, because it won't be. It can't be. Now, parents, you have to really, really trust my judgment in all of this if you can. I'm quite experienced at looking after these students now, and I have 3 teenage children of my own, 18 months apart. I've got 19-year-old son and 17-year-old twins. So I do know all about the psyche of teenage children, and I'm a parent. So I can see things from both points of view, but when your son or daughter speaks to you back in Germany, you will simply be getting their point of view, and very often it is different. So we have to be really, really adult about it and talk to each other, and I'm sure we can solve most problems. I'd like to give you an example. After the first 6 weeks, I do a host family visit and a one-to-one interview with a student. On my one-to-one interview with a student a couple of years ago, he said to me, I really don't think my family like me. They don't talk to me very much. I'm not comfortable in the house. I don't want to sit with them. I really don't feel as though it's going well. Obviously, I was a bit concerned about this, but when I made my host family visit and talked to the host family, they said to me, Mandy, we're really worried about our student. We don't think he likes us. He stays in his bedroom all the time. He never comes down to speak to us. What can we do? How can we solve this problem? So we have two different perspectives of the same situation, and we simply ensured that that student had tea with the family, came down and sat to watch a programme or a chat every evening for a certain amount of time, and he soon began to feel like part of the family. So we can get round things, but everybody has a different perspective. I'm trying to think if we have any other examples. Sometimes food can be an issue. I did have a situation this year when I had to go and see a family and their students. Now, when we actually examined what was happening, the host was actually providing everything she has to, but I think portion size was an issue. When we looked at the portion size, I would call it a standard portion that the boy was getting, but he was a big, strong lad, went to the gym lots, and we agreed a compromise that he would get a little bit more in terms of his portion size. For reasons like this, it's very, very important that you look at the worksheet that you've had and your host family have had. We have different things that we think will help get you off to a really great start. So there are some topics such as diet, integration with the host family. It may be that you want to stay in your room, Skyping your friends in Germany or playing on games or whatever it is for most of the evening, but your host family needs to know that that's what you want to do. They need to know a little bit about your personality. So I would stress to you, I want you to talk to your host family before you arrive in September about the worksheet. Go through all the elements so we can really go through lots of things. Parents, it's not a question of your son or daughter arriving in September and then saying, bye mum, bye dad, and we have no involvement from you. If we do have a problem, you will be involved. It's really, really important. You can also really try and establish a lovely relationship with the host family. So if there are any issues, it might be that you sort them out between you. I might not always be involved. One thing I want to make really clear to finalise, I'm here for everybody. We just have to be reasonable about what occurs. Can I also stress that you're going to have a great time? Normally at this point at the induction we have several German students who will come across and speak to all the parents and give you their perspective on life here this year. Due to the coronavirus situation, everyone has returned home. However, when I say everyone, that's not entirely true. We have one student who has remained in York with her host family. Part of the reason why she's remained in York is that she's actually staying on into year 13 next year. Happily, she's decided she can come in and she'll give you a little bit about her thoughts regarding her stay this year. She's going to speak to you in German, if she can remember her German words. So I'd like to introduce you to Nia.
Hallo, also wie Sie wissen, war ich schon hier ein Jahr. Also zuerst bin ich, ersten Mal in England war ich in 2018, also in York. Und ich bin erstmal 2 Wochen in Ostern geblieben und das hat mir sehr gefallen. Wir durften sogar Englisch in den York Uni studieren. Und dann habe ich mir gedacht, ja okay, das gefällt mir hier und ich habe mir gedacht, okay, ich kann noch ein Jahr bleiben. Mein Jahr hier war sehr toll. Ja, die Schule ist sehr anders. Also es ist sehr anders als in Deutschland generell. Die Lehrer sind super nett, die nehmen sich Zeit für dich. Wenn man Probleme hat, bleiben sie auch länger. Wenn du auch Probleme mit der englischen Sprache hast, dann nehmen sie sich auch wirklich Zeit für dich und die interessieren sich in jeden Schüler, was ich sehr anders von deutschen Schulen finde. Es ist sehr viel Arbeit, man hat so viele Hausaufgaben, aber man kommt auch zurecht, wenn man sich wirklich für die Schule interessiert und wirklich etwas hier machen möchte. Ich finde auch, dass die Schule selbst sehr groß ist. Es gibt so viele Schüler. Es ist auch ein bisschen komisch, mit kleineren Schülern zu tun zu haben, weil ich war in der Realschule in Deutschland und da sind ja generell nur ältere Schüler, aber hier auch die Kleinen, was sehr anders ist. Ich studiere auch Kunst hier und ich finde, ihr Atelier ist super groß und sie haben auch so viel Material, was man in Deutschland eigentlich nicht so hat. Ja, und dann mit der Frau, mit dem ich wohne, die ist super nett. Ich wohne in ein kleineres Haus, aber ich habe auch Freunde, die in größeren Häusern wohnen. Leider müssen sie aber den Bus zur Schule nehmen. Zum Glück kann ich zur Schule laufen. Also man hat kleinere Häuser, muss aber zur Schule laufen. Es gibt halt einfach verschiedene, man kann hier verschiedene Art leben. Wie Sie hören, ist mein Deutsch jetzt nicht super gut, weil ich seit so lange nicht mehr in Deutschland war und dann muss man sich wieder daran gewöhnen, Deutsch zu sprechen. Aber ich finde auch, dass man, wenn man wieder zu Hause ist und mit deutschen Freunden und mit den Eltern redet, dass Deutsch wieder kommt. Ja.
Guten Morgen. So, hier ist Münster, die Partnerstadt von York, auch eine schöne Stadt. So, mein Name ist Rita Bose und ich bin Deutsch-, Englisch- und Französischlehrerin. Ich habe hier an der Universität von York studiert und habe hier auch jahrelang unterrichtet und ich habe auch an der Uni Heidelberg in Deutschland und Oldenburg Deutsch studiert und ich habe in Deutschland in den britischen Schulen 8 Jahre lang unterrichtet. So, now I'm going to continue in English because that's what we're here for. Okay, so I teach with Embrace England with the charismatic Jim Tomlinson. And I love teaching for Embrace England because German students are just the best. Their sense of humour, yes, you heard that right. And they're just really open, willing to talk, participate, very highly motivated. So it's fantastic. We have a lot of fun on the Embrace England camps. So I also offer an additional service to those of you who would like to come to the fantastic Huntington School. Okay, so it's a stepping stone service, just like the camps. And first of all, I often prepare students who want to come to Huntington School online. So we do all of our preparation online before you arrive here for your term or for your year. We look at the Huntington School website in great detail. We look at all the subjects and see exactly what you would be covering in those subjects. and I get you kind of familiar with all the intricacies of the British school system. And then, of course, we do lots and lots of speaking just to really get you up to speed and confident with your speaking. Because I know on the camps you have 30 hours during the fortnight of English tuition, but then you are with your German friends, and of course you are speaking German in between. But when you come to Huntington, most of the time then you will be speaking English, and that is exhausting, especially in the beginning. I know that from having been at university in Germany. So just before you start dreaming in English, you will find it exhausting. So we do lots and lots of speaking so that you are very confident for when you arrive. Of course, we do lots of grammar. You can never get enough grammar. Okay, so all those little problems, as in, should I use the present perfect or continuous? Is it did we have we had, and so on. So we iron out all of those problems before you come. Then you are really confident. Also, we do quite a lot on writing as well, because it is a different language when you come here. You'll have to get used to writing in an academic style. And also how to pass tests and assessments and exams using our system. So we go through all of that, and then when you do come here, you feel much more prepared. So the second part of the stepping stone is whilst you are actually here at Huntington School. So remember, it's kind of sink or swim, it's total immersion, because you will be hearing English and in a strange accent all day long. And when you go home to your home families, of course, the guest family. So I'll be here again, I'll be helping you, and we can have the lessons online whilst you're here in York, or I can come into Huntington School or with the guest family, however we want to arrange it. So I can help, for example, in the beginning with homework. Some people say to me, I'm really shy about participating in class, I'm really worried about my English, and so on. So we have lots of practice with that, so that you feel much more confident. And by the end of the school year, it's amazing how the German students are so confident with their English, and busy chatting to everybody about their experience. So we kind of take it from your school English in Germany to real English in England, because obviously there is a difference, and with accents and so on. So I'm here to then support you during your time here at Huntington School to make it so much more enjoyable for you. And then the third step will be afterwards. Of course, when you go back to Germany, really confident with your English, having had a fantastic time here, loving fish and chips and so on. Remember the old phrase, use it or lose it. So it is easy to lose it again, as I know, having not lived in Germany now for a few years. So we want to keep that going, we want to maintain your high levels of English, and we want to build on them. So then we link back to your German curriculum, look at what you're studying for the Abitur. So the students I teach at the moment, back online, my German students, I'm reading the literature books that they're reading for their school curriculum, and helping them with those, discussing characters, themes and so on, helping them how to write academic style essays in English. And I have a copy of their English curriculum book, so that I can work alongside what you're doing then back at school in Germany towards your Abitur. Because of course it's all about the grades at the end of the day, so we want to get that grade 1. Okay, so that's it really. That's the 3-stage stepping stone program that I'll be offering as an additional. And if you'd like more details, look at our website at Huntington School. If you go on to sixth form and then Embrace England, scroll down to the very bottom, it is a long way down, and you'll see my details there, or on the Embrace England website. Okay, so das war's. Viel Spaß.
Guten Tag, ich heiße John Tomsit. I'm actually the head teacher here at Huntington School, and I'm delighted to welcome German students to our school. I think it's really important for us as a nation to continue our strong links with our European friends, and having German students in this school for me is massively important, because it's really important as we go forward over the next 2-3 decades for our young people to think that their workplace and their world is way beyond our shores. Having a global view of education and the experiences for our students is crucial. And I know from feedback that we've had from students who've been here before, from Germany and other countries in Europe, that they get a great experience. They love the English way of life, they love studying with our students, and the support we provide for you will be unbelievably good. So I hope you come across to England. I'm delighted to welcome you here, and I hope to see you soon. Thanks for being our friends, and thanks for continuing that link.